Good afternoon, badass artists. I'm Mia Leondo. Today we are going to be working again in the Chocolates for Breakfast Zombie Edition coloring book. We started this last week and we did her skin tone and we talked about, how to make skin look like it's bruised or decaying or, just how do you do zombie skin? And this is kind of where we left off. So we did just a regular flesh tone with the hang fan markers, and then we went over it with some sage green. We just, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. We went over it in spots in like the creases and frown lines, the deeper sunken places of her face. We used sort of a sagey green. And then we chose sort of a lavender, almost a taupe or mauve color, and we went over that in different places as well. And it just gives the appearance of something that's kind of decaying or rotting or bruised or, it's not normal skin. And you can use this for witches, you can use it for goblins, you can use it obviously for zombies. There's quite a few different darker creatures that you can use that technique for. So we are back now and we are going to continue on with the rest of the picture. Now I had printed some, colored in some of these roses. I have with me today the Posca Pencils. Now I know you guys are probably like, Posca, that's a marker. It is, but they also have a set of pencils, which I'm quite fond of. I think it's a set of 36. They're a little on the pricey side, but I think they're worth it. This is one of my top 5 favorite sets of pencils to work with. So I will put the link to them in the description below. Remember, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I buy them with my own money, so I give you a super honest opinion on how I like them, if I like them, if I don't like them, and these I definitely do. So I'm going to go back in. You can see how much pigment is in. Let me zoom in a little bit more. They're just really, really pigmented, and they're soft, but they're not as soft as, say, Prismas. So if you're not a super soft pencil person, this might be a good alternative for you. I like my pencils just a little bit harder, but I really love the colors, and they blend very well. They play nicely with others. So you can use more than one brand and not worry about them not wanting to blend in well together with a different brand. So I'm just kind of darkening up this rose. I want it to kind of pop here and there. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. Did I miss any roses? Just this one down here on her chest. And while I got that out, I'm going to get a green color so I can do the foliage. But I need to sharpen this, so hold on just a second. Oh, didn't mean to bump ya. I'm going to sharpen these real quick. And you guys know that I like to sharpen my pencils to like a dagger point. That's just me. And I'll probably break them and jump. I'm going to use 2 colors of green. Now the Posca pencils don't have names or numbers. They just come in a little box. It's a cute little plastic box of 36 colors. And this is kind of an apple green. And we're just gonna kind of go around. We're gonna pretend this is a rose up here. And don't be afraid to go right over that grayscale. These pencils work really, really well on dark grayscale and black paper. They really show up nicely. I'm going to take one that's just a little bit darker. It's kind of a grassy green. Or Kelly green. And I'm just kind of working it in. I'm not covering up the other color. I'm just kind of adding it for depth. I'm going to leave this as a part of her veil. Now choose a white pencil that you like. I happen to like the Derwent Chinese white from the drawing pencil set, but I don't have those in front of me right now, so I'm going to use the Posca white, which is probably my second favorite. What we're going to do is we're going to zoom out, because if I don't do it, I'll forget, and you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. I'm sorry about that. I know I do it kind of often. I'll zoom you in and forget to zoom you back out. But we're just going to kind of highlight this veil. And we're going to go over the lace work. You can do this with a gel pen as well, if you like, if you really want it to stand out. You don't have to be precise. Just kind of go in and sort of scribble around the most obvious parts of the lace. Make it nice and white. We're going to do the same with her strap. We're not going over every little piece of it, but we're definitely going around, you know, the thicker part of the material to make it stand out. What we want to do is, in a minute, we're going to do the background. So we're going to do a background color that you can see through. Right now, we're just getting the white sheer fabric in order. Now it goes up over her head very nicely. And the parts that are the lightest, we're just going to give it a little extra oomph. It's very easy, you can see it. I'm going to do the same with this lace over here. We're just going to sort of make little spots where that white's really going to show. We're just really going to attack it. Now I've left this part of her neck kind of in the shadows here. And this little area over the headband. And I need a color to kind of fill this in with. This is a little bit lighter. And I'm not coloring it all the way in. I'm just kind of barely touching it. Okay, so I wanted to make her hair kind of, well, kind of red. And then I want to give it sort of a shimmery salmon color background, but I don't want all of her hair to be red. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom of her bang. And we're just going to work our way up. The trick is not to get confused what's hair and what's veil. And we're not really putting a lot into her hair. We want it to just kind of look like it has a touch of color. We're making it red so that it sort of blends in with the flowers. And she is a zombie, so I'm sure there's blood involved. Which reminds me, we're going to come down to these areas where she has these scratches or whatnot. We're going to give it a little coat of red. Not a lot. We're going to do the same on her eyes. And if you want to go in and shadow the under part of her eye just a little bit more, that is fine. We can give her quite a bit more color that way. Now I'm going to deepen up her eyebrows, and this is just black, and I'm not really overdoing the eyebrows. I'm just kind of making them show up a little bit more. And I might add a few little eyelashes, but nothing over the top. Okay, next I'm going to take, now you can do this with marker, you can do it with pencil, you can do it with paint, you can do it with, you know, pretty much anything that you choose. I chose to do it with a pan pastel, and this is, do I have a color name on it? This is called Pearl Red, and it is an iridescent. It is a bit shimmery. So I'm gonna get my little instruments. As soon as I get myself situated here. Well, it can't be cover. I think that should work. Now, first we're going to do kind of the easy part. We are going to take this color and we're going to add it all in the background. And we're going to peek through the veil so that you can see it, but you don't want to lose the effect of the veil. That's when you go just super light. What I kind of do is I start on the background, and as I start to lose color on the sponge, that's when I kind of lay that color in, because you're looking through the veil. You're looking through that sheer netting, and you're seeing that color, so it's not going to be as intense because, you know, you're seeing it through the fabric. And then when you go back to the background, you can, you know, go back to making it a little more intense, a little thicker. You can do this with chalk pastels or oil pastels, just pretty much anything. Unhook it here so that we get all the way to the top. And that pretty shimmery pink color is going to look really nice with those roses. We're going to keep it away from the top of her head because that's all veil. But as we get here, we're going to bring that lighter touch. We want to be able to see through, but not change the color of the veil. We want to see it, but we don't want it to be very bright and intense. And just take your time. I hope everybody got comfortable, grabbed a snack, got something to drink, some coffee or some tea. Thanks so much for joining me today. And you can see as the product on the sponge gets lighter, I add a little bit into that veil so it looks like you can see through. I'm going to kind of go over this little rose here too. I might not like it, but I think that has made me happy. Last but not least, put this away. We're gonna do just a touch of green on her eyes. We're not going to go overboard with a lot of details because there's a lot going on in this picture. But we are going to use a couple of colors of green. And finally, let's finish up her lips. I've got this soft pink color. But over the pink, I am going to take a green, just kind of weave it in there. Can't forget she's a zombie. I'm just going to kind of put that over top. And there we are. Let me back up. There is our zombie bride. All nice and finished. Let's see. That iridescent background looks really nice. The lights aren't picking it up too good, but it's kind of the way it is with all the metallics. But this is really, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. If you found this video helpful, I'll really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I definitely hope that you will hit the subscribe button. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. I think that is just about it, everyone. I hope this was as fun for you guys as it was for me. And I hope you're enjoying your afternoon. If you guys have been caught in this crazy weather blizzard, below 0, 20 inches of snow weekend, if you found yourself snowed in, I hope this will help you, give you something to do until the bad weather subsides. And I guess that's all for me for right now. I will be back in a couple of days with a new tutorial. Let me know if there's something specific that you're working on that you'd like me to include in the videos. I will be very happy to accommodate you. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for joining me. I will see you next time.